You've been lied to your entire life. Work hard. Be loyal. Play by the rules. Save your money. And one day, you'll be successful. But look around. The people who followed those rules, where are they now? Still broke. Still struggling. Still waiting for their turn that never comes. Meanwhile, there's a small group of people who ignored everything you were taught. They broke the rules. They played a different game. And now they're sitting at the top while you're still grinding at the bottom. So what do they know that you don't? Today, you're about to discover the 7 laws of power that keep you poor. Not because you're lazy. Not because you're unlucky. Because you've been trained to lose. And someone's profiting from your obedience. 500 years ago, Machiavelli wrote something dangerous. He said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." He understood that power doesn't care about fairness. It cares about results. The people who win aren't the ones who play fair. They're the ones who understand the real rules. The invisible rules no one teaches you in school. Law 1. They taught you to trade time for money. Every job you've ever had taught you the same lie. Show up. Work your hours. Get your paycheck. Repeat until you're 65. And you believed it because everyone around you believed it. Your parents worked that way. Your teachers worked that way. So you assume that's just how money works. But here's what they never told you. Trading time for money is the slowest way to build wealth. It's a trap designed to keep you running in place forever. Rich people don't trade time for money. They trade systems for money. They build once and get paid forever. A book, a business, an investment. They create something that works while they sleep. You trade 40 hours for a paycheck. They trade 40 hours once, and that work pays them for the next 40 years. That's the difference. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Poor people work for money their entire lives and wake up at 60 with nothing. Rich people work to build assets that generate money without them. Think about it. When you're sick, you don't get paid. When you're on vacation, you don't get paid. When you stop working, the money stops. That's not financial security. That's a leash. But when you own the system, the apartment building, the online business, the dividend stocks, money flows whether you're working or not. You're not paid for your time. You're paid for your ownership. So here's what you do. Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an owner. Every hour you work for someone else is an hour you're not building something for yourself. Start small. Doesn't matter. A side business. A digital product. An investment portfolio. Anything that can generate income without you physically being there. The goal isn't to quit your job tomorrow. The goal is to stop believing that a job is the only way to make money. Because the moment you break that belief, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. Your time is finite. Your income shouldn't be. Time is limited. Systems are infinite. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I build assets, not paychecks. Law 2. They taught you that debt is dangerous. You've been terrified of debt your whole life. Avoid credit cards. Never borrow money. Debt is bad. Debt will ruin you. So you stay away from it. You pay everything in cash. You think you're being responsible. And while you're being responsible, rich people are using debt to get richer. They're leveraging other people's money to build empires while you're too scared to take a loan. Here's the truth. There are 2 types of debt. Bad debt and good debt. Bad debt buys things that lose value. A car, a TV, clothes. That debt makes you poorer. Good debt buys things that make money. Real estate, a business, education that increases your income. That debt makes you richer. Poor people avoid all debt because they were taught debt is the enemy. Rich people use good debt as a tool. They borrow $500,000 at 4% interest to buy a property that generates $60,000 a year in rental income. They didn't use their own money. They used the bank's money. And now they own an asset that pays them forever. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple and so much controlled by their present necessities that he who deceives will always find someone who will let himself be deceived." The system deceives you into thinking all debt is bad, so you never learn to use it as leverage. You save $50,000 in the bank earning 1% interest. They borrow $500,000 and turn it into $1 million in equity. Who's winning? Stop fearing debt. Start understanding it. If you can borrow money at 5% and invest it in something that returns 10%, you're not losing. You're winning. Real estate investors do this every day. They put down $50,000 on a $250,000 property, rent it out, and the tenants pay the mortgage. In 20 years, they own a property worth $400,000, and they only invested $50,000 of their own money. You don't have to jump into massive debt tomorrow, but you need to stop treating all debt like poison. Learn the difference. Use good debt strategically. Let other people's money work for you. Debt is a tool. Use it wisely. Drop this affirmation. I leverage money to build wealth. Law 3. They taught you to save, not to invest. You've been saving your whole life. Putting money in the bank. Watching it grow by pennies. Feeling responsible. Feeling safe. And that savings account? It's making you poorer every single day. Inflation is eating your money alive. While you're saving, they're investing. And the gap between you and them gets wider every year. Let me show you the math. You save $10,000 in a bank. It earns 1% interest. In 10 years, you'll have around $11,000. Congratulations. You made $1,000 in a decade. But inflation runs at 3 to 4% per year. That means the purchasing power of your money is shrinking. What cost $10,000 10 years ago costs $13,000 today. Your $11,000 is actually worth less than the $10,000 you started with. You didn't save money. You lost money slowly. Now watch what rich people do. They take that same $10,000 and invest it. Stocks average 10% annual returns historically. In 10 years, that $10,000 becomes $26,000. They more than doubled their money while you barely kept up with inflation. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The fool saves for 40 years and retires broke. The wise man invests for 40 years and retires wealthy. Saving feels safe, but safety is expensive. It costs you your financial future. Here's what you do. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses and savings for emergencies. Everything else, invest it. Index funds, real estate, stocks, bonds, anything that grows faster than inflation. Stop letting your money sit in a bank collecting dust. Put it to work. Let it grow. Let it compound. $500 a month invested at 10% annual returns becomes $380,000 in 30 years. That same $500 a month in a savings account. Maybe $200,000 if you're lucky. The difference between comfortable retirement and working until you die is understanding this one law. Saving keeps you poor. Investing makes you rich. Saving is losing slowly. Drop this affirmation. I invest to multiply. Law 4. They taught you to live below your means. Cut back. Sacrifice. Live below your means. Don't buy that coffee. Skip that vacation. Drive the old car. And one day, maybe, you'll be comfortable. But here's the problem. You can't save your way to wealth. You're so focused on cutting expenses that you forgot to increase income. And while you're clipping coupons, they're building empires. Living below your means is a trap disguised as wisdom. Yes, you should avoid stupid spending. But you shouldn't spend your entire life in scarcity mode. Rich people don't focus on living below their means. They focus on expanding their means. They don't ask, how can I spend less? They ask, how can I earn more? You save $100 a month by skipping coffee and eating ramen. Great. That's $1,200 a year. Meanwhile, someone else spent that year learning a skill that increased their income by $20,000. Who's winning? Machiavelli once said, since it is difficult to join them together, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Applied to money, it's far safer to increase your earning potential than to shrink your lifestyle into nothing. The poverty mindset says, I can't afford this. The wealth mindset says, how can I afford this? One leads to a smaller life. The other leads to more income. Stop obsessing over saving $5 on lunch. Start obsessing over earning an extra $5,000 a year. Learn a skill. Start a side business. Negotiate a raise. Build something. Yes, be smart with money. Don't blow it on garbage. But don't live like you're broke when you should be investing in yourself, your education, your business, your network. Rich people spend money on things that make them more money. Courses, mentors, tools, connections. Poor people hoard money and refuse to invest in their own growth. Expand your means. Don't shrink your life. Income has no ceiling. Drop this affirmation. I expand my means. Law 5. They taught you to be loyal to companies. Work hard. Be loyal. Stay with the company. And they'll take care of you. That's what they told your parents. That's what they told you. And it's the biggest lie in the employment playbook. Companies aren't loyal to you. They'll replace you the second it benefits them. And while you're wasting years being loyal, you're missing better opportunities. Loyalty is beautiful in relationships. It's suicide in business. Companies don't care about your loyalty. They care about their bottom line. The moment you become expensive or unnecessary, you're gone. You stay at the same job for 10 years, hoping for a promotion. You get 3% raises annually. Meanwhile, someone else switched jobs twice in those 10 years. Each switch came with a 15 to 20% pay increase. After 10 years, they're making 50% more than you for the same work. Why? Because you were loyal. And loyalty is expensive. Machiavelli once said, men are so simple of mind and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived. The company deceives you with talk of family and loyalty while treating you like a replaceable part. Job hoppers get richer. Loyal employees get comfortable. And comfortable is just another word for stuck. Stop being loyal to companies. Be loyal to your career. Every 2 to 3 years, assess your market value. If you can make more money somewhere else, move. No guilt. No apologies. They'd lay you off without thinking twice. Use your current job to build skills. Network. Learn. Then leverage that experience to negotiate higher pay elsewhere. Loyalty should flow to the people who actually care about you, not to corporations that see you as a line item on a spreadsheet. Your career is a business. You're the product. And products that don't move to better markets stay cheap forever. Loyalty to myself first. Drop this affirmation. I choose growth over comfort. Law 6. They taught you that money is evil. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Wanting wealth makes you shallow. So you learn to feel guilty about wanting more. You learn to apologize for ambition. And while you're feeling guilty, they're getting richer. Guilt is the most expensive emotion you'll ever carry. Here's the truth. Money isn't evil. Money is neutral. It's a tool. A tool that amplifies who you already are. Good people with money do more good. Bad people with money do more bad. But you've been taught to hate money. To see it as dirty. To believe wanting it makes you selfish. Why? Because broke people are easier to control. When you're desperate for a paycheck, you accept bad treatment. When you're financially secure, you have options. You have power. And powerful people are dangerous to systems designed to keep you obedient. Machiavelli once said, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. They promised you that humility and modesty would be rewarded. They broke that promise the moment they needed to keep you poor. Money gives you choices. Choices give you freedom. Freedom makes you uncontrollable. That's why they taught you to hate it. Stop apologizing for wanting wealth. Stop feeling guilty about ambition. Money lets you help more people. It lets you live on your terms. It lets you say no to things that don't serve you. Rich people aren't evil. Broke people with rich people morals are still broke. They just feel better about being broke. Chase money unapologetically. Build wealth relentlessly. Use it to create the life you want and help the people you care about. There's nothing noble about being poor. Money is freedom. Drop this affirmation. I deserve wealth. Law 7. They taught you to wait for permission. Wait your turn. Follow the process. Ask for permission. Get approval. And maybe, if you're lucky, someone will give you a chance. But here's the truth. No one's coming to give you permission. No one's handing out opportunities. And while you're waiting, someone else is taking what could have been yours. The system taught you to wait. Wait for the right time. Wait for someone to notice you. Wait for permission to start. And that wait costs you everything. Rich people don't wait. They start messy. They start scared. They start before they're ready. Because they understand something you don't. Action beats permission every single time. You want to start a business? You don't need permission. You don't need a degree. You don't need approval from anyone. You need to start. Today. Right now. With what you have. Machiavelli once said, "Never was anything great achieved without danger." Waiting feels safe. But safety is the graveyard of ambition. The people who win are the ones who move before they're ready. You wait for the perfect moment. They create the moment. You wait for someone to believe in you. They believe in themselves. You wait for permission. They take what's theirs. Stop waiting. Stop asking. Stop looking for someone to validate your dreams. If you want it, go get it. No one's going to hand it to you. Start that business today. Launch that project today. Make that move today. Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. You'll figure it out along the way. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who act. Those who take risks. Those who move when everyone else is still planning. Permission is a cage you built for yourself. Break out. I don't wait. I create. Drop this affirmation. I take what's mine. So there they are. The 7 laws that keep you poor. Not because you're not smart enough. Not because you're not working hard enough. Because you've been trained to lose. They taught you to trade time for money. To fear debt. To save instead of invest. To live small. To be loyal to companies that aren't loyal to you. To feel guilty about wanting wealth. To wait for permission that's never coming. And every single one of those lessons, it keeps you exactly where they want you. Broke. Dependent. Obedient. But now you know. You've seen behind the curtain. You understand the game. And you can't unknow this. So now you have a choice. You can go back to following the rules. Keep playing the game you were taught. Keep waiting for your turn. Or you can start playing by the real rules. The rules that actually create wealth. The rules they use while telling you not to. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Don't be the fool who figures this out at 65 when it's too late. Master these laws. Apply them. And watch how quickly your financial reality changes. If this video woke you up, hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe because we're just getting started exposing the lies they taught you. The system wants you poor. Prove them wrong. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I break the chains. Now go build the wealth you deserve.